Welcome to the Connect System, Part 2, the Beaver, and coming to you from the top of Ireland and the land of Connell, Cheer Connell, Saoirse here, and I'm really excited to share this with you, Part 2 of the Connect System. We're talking about the Beaver Persona, and again, this is an action one, so I will just get right into it. The Connect System is how you can communicate with other people. And what you do is you go through their filter to meet the need, or go through the hidden question to answer the hidden need, or meet that hidden need. You can really be able to connect with anyone, and that's the exciting bit of it, because it works with co-workers, with clients, with business, with different departments in a corporation, and you can even use it with your family and personal relationships. So that's really exciting. So the Connect System. And now, just a quick overview and the need for it, which I talk about in each of these sessions. But if you've already seen it in the horse persona, then I won't have to go into as much detail each time. But there is a real need for good communication in the workplace. And these quick presentations here are mainly for using it with sales and business. So that's why we're talking about miscommunication in business. But miscommunication is a big problem worldwide, and no matter what size your business is. And you've got 86% of the time, it is the main cause of workplace failure. So like a project failure, a loss of a client, a loss of retention, maybe a loss of an account, that can be because of miscommunication or a workplace failure. And then daily at 28% workplace delays are because of miscommunication. Like, oh, I thought it was, I thought you needed it for the meeting next week, and it was this week, or something like that. And so, oh, well, we'll get to with you tomorrow, and we'll have to email it to you later or whatever, because of miscommunication. So now, on a daily basis, miscommunication happens on everyday tasks about 97% of the time. So, where you have to come back and either do another email or text, or get back with the person, or ring them back and say, hey, I need a clarification on this. And so that can be on every day. I thought you meant this or that. So that's how it affects it on a daily basis. Now, as far as costs, the estimated cost for a business that has 100 employees is $420,000 a year in dollars, and these are from expert market statistics on 9 March 2023. And the estimated cost worldwide right now is $37 billion because of miscommunication, whether it's a IT project or a client service or whatever it is. If it's not clear, it can cost a lot of money. I know a client that they put in a incentive program for their employees, for example, and they spent $2 million on the project because it was a nationwide thing for America. And within 3 weeks, they scrapped the whole program. Can you believe it? They wasted that much money because it didn't work. And what happened was that the employees became competitive with one another and were stabbing each other in the back for the incentive program. So it didn't help the customers, and it didn't help the business at all because they started losing money. So that was a problem with it. So it can cost a lot of money. That's just one example. So now the Connect system. If you can connect with the person, then you can communicate better, and you have effective, clear communication, which the Connect system is part of the Sona Sásta system, which we'll talk about later. And the first pillar of that is effective communication. And it's real important. I mean, you can speak the same language, say English or something, but then you still have miscommunication, whether it's cultural, dialect, or just unclear communication. And so some of the best courses that I take at university and graduate school was effective communication. And also when we worked with different government agencies, we dealt with effective communication. They called it whatever the company was, let's say, like the agency, let's say, Defense Department effective communication, something like that. And so in Ireland, it's Irish Defence Forces. So, and it was real interesting because the kind of communication that you learn in university level is the opposite of what you want to use on a daily basis to talk with coworkers or clients or business people. You want to come down with fewer syllables, smaller syllables of words, because the bigger the word, the more easier it is to be misunderstood. So anyway, back to the Connect system. There are three types of people. There are people that act first, and then there are people that feel first, and there are people that think first. So we call these actors, feelers, and thinkers. Today we're talking about the actors. 32% of people in the general population are actors. They're going to act first and then think or feel or think. So that's what that is. And so there's 7 personas altogether. And so you have the horse persona and the beaver persona. These are the actors. Then you have the otter persona and the collie persona, and those are the feelers. And then you have the lion persona, the eagle persona, and the owl persona, and those are definitely the thinkers. So we'll talk about these all in order later on. So today we're talking about the beaver and how to connect with people. So here's the key. Everyone has all 7 personas that they can take on and put on, take off and put on like a mask or a filter or like goggles. People tend to prefer some over the others. So generally, if somebody is using a beaver persona, for example, that's what they're going to approach life with most of the time in most situations. So now they can change because maybe they get under stress or they're talking with somebody else. You can change personas so that you can communicate, and that's the whole idea. And no persona is better than another. And the key is going through the filter to meet the need or answer the hidden question to meet the hidden desire or need from others. So they need this from other people to be satisfied and fulfilled in their life. And then they know you're connected. That's how you connect. So now the 3 types of people, the actors here, 32% of people are actors. These are people that approach life through action first and then communicate through action first, and they're kinetically motivated, so they're going to be action oriented. So in order to communicate with these people, you need to be more action oriented and don't just sit around and talk about it, or feel, let's talk about feelings. There's a place for that, but with these people, they want the action. So we're talking about the beaver. So here's your beaver. And I use these silly icons just as a way to remember. Another thing is when I present this in person, a lot of times I'll use these little puppets, and people, there's a technical term for this, but most people don't remember the technical term. So, but they do remember, like, I am really related to the beaver. I was like, where I'm a beaver person. So they remember the animals. So we're just going with those. Keep it simple. But if you get into the program and you want to dive deeper in all this, we definitely can. So now, Beaver Persona, 25% of people are Beaver Persona. So if you're trying to reach out to the general population as far as marketing or sales, then a Beaver Persona and a Collie Persona are the 2 ways to go, because they're the most popular. They're the ones that most people tend to use most of the time in the general population. So you hit those 2 and you're over 50% right there. They're natural maintainers. The beavers are natural maintainers, and they're very practical oriented. So these people, they love to finish. So they'll have a to-do list on their mind, or even on paper, and they love to just check those things off. So they love to finish things. So they'll generally have 1 or 2 things that they want to accomplish every particular day, and they won't leave until it's done. They really like to finish that. It's like, I got to finish this. And it's really frustrating for them to put it off to another day unless it's already scheduled. So, but the hidden question, how to communicate, is, are you doing your share? Are you carrying the load? Are you participating in this actively? So are you doing your share? That's a big question. And if someone's not doing their share, then they're going to see that either person is a lazy person or undependable, or something like that. So they're not going to connect with them. Now, the hidden need is they need appreciation for what they've done, and they need you to actively participate and help out. So their main strength is trustworthiness. They're totally dependable, reliable. They're detail minded, and they love short term projects. Now, these are the kind of people that you want to invite over to your house if you're having a party or something. Invite them to come early so they can help out, because they'll look for practical things that need to be done, and they'll do it without asking. You might be visiting with all your party participants, or talking or whatever, and you wonder where your beaver friend is, your beaver persona. They're in the kitchen washing the dishes, cleaning up after, making sure they're doing all the practical things. So that's the kind of action that these people do. Their main attributes is they're very attentive to detail, they're very diligent, they like everything in order, so a place for everything and everything in their place, and they're very punctual. So if you invite them to be there at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock at night, or for a business meeting at 10 in the morning, they'll be there early, and they'll be helping set up. So they're very nice to have around, very practical oriented. So now, how do you sell to a beaver persona? Well, remember, they're practical oriented. So they want to know, how is this practically going to help them in business or in their personal life. So usually they think that meetings are a waste of time. So they'll tolerate short meetings, but if it's a long meeting, they'll very, very much, it's a waste of time, because in their mind, they're thinking of all the things that they need to get done. And they're not being able to do it because they're sitting there listening to somebody ramble on about something that could have handled by text or email or a virtual meeting. So anyway, they look for ways to save time and money, mainly time, because they want to check things off the list. They don't like hyper exaggeration either. So just like the horse persona, the beaver persona just wants to get to the practical details of it. So you'll probably, if you have a meeting with them, let's say you have a sales meeting with a beaver, these are the kind of people that will probably be doing something else while you're giving your presentation or your talk. And again, they're very time sensitive. So if you say you have a meeting, like say you have an hour with them, which would be rare, but if you did, you have an hour with them, you really don't, because they're going to lose interest really fast. So basically, these action people, the actor people, you always want to schedule something on off 15 minutes. So like, I'd like to meet with you at 9:15 to 9:40. Do you have 20 minutes or 25 minutes that you can share with me? And then they'll like that. They go, oh yeah, we can schedule her in for a meeting there. And then, all right, so then you arrive to the meeting, be early, and definitely be punctual, and be practical. When you come in, you meet the person and you say, listen, I understand you're really busy and I don't want to take up too much of your time. So I'm going to give you my presentation in about a minute or two, maybe 5 minutes. So if you give me 5 minutes, and you really only have like a minute or two, really, but if you can do your message and your story in 5 minutes or less, and then you say, yeah, and if you want to carry on with it, we can take the full 25 minutes or 20 minutes, whatever. And if not, we can get back later. So that'll talk to them. They really love that. And now you're connected. And if you're competing with other salespeople, you're in there. You know what? Because all the other salespeople might have a big sales pitch and all this stuff and waste like 35, 40 minutes giving their sales speech, and the person, but you do it like that with somebody that's an actor, you're in there. So they'll listen to you. Now, remember, they prefer solutions to specific practical problems. So those are the kind of things that you want to be presenting. If you have something that's long-term ROI, that's not really practical, it's intangible or something, you need to make it tangible for these people so they can relate to it. And so the keep it simple, silly, it's the keep it practical and pragmatic. And that's an easy way to remember. KIPP, keep it practical and pragmatic. And there you go. That's just an overview of the Beaver persona today. And I want to make a special offer. If you'd like more information about the Connect system or the Sona Sásta system, or to get the free resources for today, you can watch this on a replay, and there's a free workbook also available. So go to freedomsaoirse.com, scroll down to the bottom of the page, and fill out the form, and you have access to all these, the workbooks and the videos that you can watch again. There'll be a link for YouTube on that. So anyway, again, freedomsaoirse.com. Feel free to message or email me on Facebook, Freedom Saoirse International on Facebook, or Freedom Saoirse Live Group, and of course the website freedomsaoirse.com, and also Freedom Saoirse on YouTube. So there you go. I want to thank you for taking 15 minutes to watch this video about the beaver in the part of the Connect system, the Beaver Persona. And remember, just go to freedomsaoirse.com, scroll down to the bottom of the page to get the special offers of the workbooks and the free handouts and things that are available there. Also, you can book a call with me. So just email info@freedomsaoirse.com or fill out the form and I'll get back with you straight away. Also, you can find me on Facebook at Freedom Saoirse International or Freedom Saoirse Live Group, and you can contact me that way with a direct message or leaving a comment. So, grand, thank you very much, and I hope you have a splendid week.